Well, ladies and gentlemen, this year has been full of travel, and let me tell you that the place we're about to head to is somewhere I haven't been in a while. But before I headed out on this trip, the people over at Insta360 sent over quite a care package, but I figured this trip would be the perfect opportunity for me to showcase some of their newest gear. But let me go ahead and show you guys what we picked up. Now, if you guys don't know, Insta360 has been coming out with a pretty amazing line of products as of late. In addition to their traditional 360 cameras, they've also come out with this baby right here, which is the Insta360 Go 3, which not only has a flip out screen, but you can even take out the camera itself. And the fact that you have an entire pocketable camera in such a small form factor is pretty insane. But in addition to that, they've also sent over their Insta360 Ace Pro. And if you guys haven't heard about the crazy features on this camera, well, there's gonna be a lot to share. Once again, also has a flip out screen, which is super handy. But the product we're gonna be reviewing the most over this weekend is actually going to be this baby right here, which is the Insta360 Flow. And let me tell you that this is going to be a massive game changer for any mobile filmmaking. Now, the place I'm flying to is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to showcase all the brand new features to really show you guys how to get the most out of your mobile filmmaking. But right now I do have a flight to catch, so let's get boarded. Now, unfortunately, the flight I was supposed to take did get delayed a little bit. Right now, I'm posted up at the bar, about to grab a drink, do a little bit of work, but hopefully, we should make this flight tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it out here to the beautiful city of Chicago. It is a little bit chilly out here, but they call it the Windy City for a reason. But to be honest, this is probably one of the perfect places for me to show you guys a couple new features about this brand new Insta360 Flow. And I've been using this thing for a couple of hours now, and I'm so impressed, not only by the quality, but also the ease of use. Literally, all you have to do is flip it open, attach your phone, gimbal's gonna turn on, and you are now officially ready to shoot. So let's get exploring. Alright, so right now we are crossing the bridge right over the river, and you get some really beautiful scenic views of the entire downtown Chicago skyline, and something about the city just makes me feel some type of way, you know? We made it up to the rooftop of this place called London House, and let me tell you that this is a spot for some really spectacular views of the entire downtown Chicago skyline. And check this out, y'all. Alright, so I've been shooting with this brand new Insta360 and it's honestly one of the most convenient devices I can carry around with me when I travel. I was just talking to my friend Ricky about how it's pretty inconvenient to have to carry an entire camera, a heavy gimbal, just to get a couple of smooth cinematic shots. There are a lot of times where I bring the entire setup and really only end up getting 2 or 3 shots and I end up having to carry a bunch more weight. So the fact that I can literally fold this up into my pocket, carry it around with me, and still get some pretty high quality footage, it's pretty insane. So as you guys can see, it's actually a pretty compact device once you fold it up, but obviously if you ever want to rest it down, all you have to do is pull down these tripod legs, extend it a little bit, and you can immediately place this on any surface. But even more convenient is this telescoping arm, which acts as a selfie stick, and also it's super useful to get some very unique angles, kind of like you would with a dolly or a jib, once again in such a small compact form factor. But when in Chicago, you obviously know there is one iconic landmark, and let's go. Well, I was pretty excited to see one of the most iconic landmarks here in Chicago, but man, our timing just ain't it. Because I am filming on the iPhone and I want to be able to use that high dynamic range by hitting that Apple ProRes LOG, well, I actually have to pick up an SD card reader. I forgot mine at home, but luckily the Apple Store always carries one of these around, so we should be getting a lot more cinematic footage right about now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a couple of weeks since I've been testing out this brand new Insta360 Flow, and I've got to say this is by far one of the biggest game changers when it's come to my mobile photography, because not only has it made it so much more convenient and accessible for me to capture some really high quality footage just by using the smartphone that I currently have in my pocket, and as you guys can see from the footage itself, you're really able to take your phone into a true cinema camera once you actually start pairing it with the smooth gimbal-like qualities that you can get from the Flow. But now that we're back in the studio, I figured I'd go over a couple of more in-depth features to really share more about what this thing can do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, right off the bat, definitely one of the biggest features I've been most excited about, and the reason I'm going to actually be including this in my travel content kit is because it literally is just so portable. As you guys can see from the form factor, the fact that it literally just folds up and can fit in any sort of pocket or bag just really allows me to bring this anywhere I am and still get some really high quality content, and I don't have to worry about bringing around my entire camera setup. Now, I'm sure you guys saw in the video, but once you've got your phone clamp attached, all you have to do is just attach it to the gimbal, and literally right away it's going to power on and you pretty much can get started shooting. But they've even made it easier for you guys, and they've actually paired it with Bluetooth, so it'll automatically open your Insta360 app, and immediately you're going to be taken into the app where you get a lot more flexibility and controls that really allow you to get the most features out of this camera that you're not going to be able to get in the native camera app. Obviously, you can adjust things like your settings, whether you want to shoot in 4K 60 frames, 24 or 30 frames. And something that I found super useful is you can even hit it into a manual mode, so you can really dial in all your settings, including shutter speed, ISO, aperture. Once again, it's not available in the native camera app. And then right here on the bottom, you can even adjust things like your photo, video, hyperlapse, time-lapse, dolly zoom. There are so many different features and settings, which I'll dive into a little bit later. And obviously, as you guys saw from the video, but you can extend these tripod legs, which has been super convenient. Anywhere I'm traveling, I can literally just set this up. And the crazy thing is they even have motion controls. All you have to do is hold up your hand and it's immediately going to start taking a photo or video, which once again just eliminates the need for you to bring on other people. Now, moving on to the physical features of the gimbal. Once again, it's really well thought out to give you the most flexibility and ease of use while you're shooting. You don't have to worry about fidgeting with buttons to get it to the exact setting you want. Right here, it's basically called your smart wheel. You've got things to start and stop your recording. This button button right here will basically flip it between the front and the back camera, or you can hit it twice and it'll go into portrait mode. But you may be asking yourself how you can get it into different modes that you might see on a traditional gimbal, but Insta360 has really thought of everything, and literally all you have to do is just swipe it over to the exact setting that you want. So if you want to go to FPV mode, PF, or P, all you have to do is really seamlessly just scroll through the smart wheel right here. And one feature in particular that I've actually been using a ton is actually going to be the zoom controls. So as you guys can see, all you have to do is scroll this outside edge of the smart wheel for smooth zooming in and out. And literally this has been so convenient because as you guys know, you've got 3 lenses on the camera, so you can quickly switch it from the ultra wide to the normal to even the telephoto, and really allows me to stay in my flow state, no pun intended. And once again, just eliminates another hassle when it comes to mobile filmmaking. Second up on our favorite features list, well, it's going to be their tracking capabilities. This isn't something you see even in your higher end gimbals from DJI, but they've got some really intelligent AI capabilities and something called Deep Track 3.0. Basically, all you have to do is draw a box around the subject you want to track, which isn't a super new feature, but Insta360's Deep Track 3.0 really takes it to another level because now you've got things like person re-identification, which remembers a target person throughout the recording and continue tracking them, even re-identifying them when they are blocked by another object. Now, I actually tried out this feature when I was over in LA. Me and a couple of my friends were going on a hike to the top of a cliff, and all of a sudden they kind of just wanted to get into a little sparring match, so I figured it's the perfect time to test out these deep tracking capabilities. And I'm telling you, it is very impressive how well it not only re-identifies the same person that it's already tracked onto, but once again, even if a different object comes in front of the subject you've already tracked, it's still going to maintain that focus, and it's pretty insane as you guys can see from the footage right here. Or you can even utilize something called always on tracking, so even if you go behind a big rock or building and then come back into the frame, it's going to automatically go back to tracking you perfectly. And all these AI features combined really take the tracking capabilities to another level, and I never have to worry whether or not my shot's going to be in focus or if I'm tracking the right subject. And probably one of the most useful cases of this was while we were on top of that mountain, we stumbled upon a guy waiting to propose to his girlfriend, and literally the footage I was able to get on the 3x lens of this camera with the gimbal pretty much tracked the fiance's reaction perfectly. It was a priceless reaction, and literally after I drew the box to track my subject, I knew I was going to have to worry about whether it was going to go out of focus, which once again can be such a hassle when you're using other cameras. And finally, in addition to all these great features, you got some really powerful capabilities in the app itself to really adapt to the style of shooting you're trying to do. But if you're out in the field and you don't know exactly what you want to shoot, well, you can even utilize something called their shot Genie. So let me go ahead and show you guys a little bit more what I'm talking about. So basically, it'll say, what are you filming? And you can give it an AI prompt. So let's say studio tour in-house. So basically, it'll give you a pre-made template of different shots that you can get. They not only tell you your target, but your camera movement, the shot type, and a shooting guide that basically gives you a step-by-step outline of how to get some really compelling videos. They have everything from outdoor scenes, family, seaside, city, sports. And even after looking through a couple of these templates, they're actually pretty well thought out. And they have a lot of creative shots that I wouldn't have thought of personally and can actually help elevate your content. And once again, just having this entire Genie library built into the app itself gives you a lot more creative flexibility and inspiration anytime you're out in the field and you don't know what type of shot you want to get. The fact that you can just use AI to throw out a prompt and it'll automatically give you an entire selection of shots is pretty mind-blowing itself. And finally, probably one of my favorite features is definitely going to be this dolly zoom, which I've been actually trying out a ton. And basically the effect itself is the camera is zooming in as you're moving back, and it basically builds the entire shot for you within the app itself, and it's pretty impressive. So I definitely recommend giving that one a shot as well. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for my review of this Insta360 Flow. And I've got to say, this has easily been one of my favorite filmmaking tools of 2024 because it really just helps me elevate my mobile filmmaking, and I don't have to worry about bringing, once again, an entire other setup, another gimbal, heavy lenses, because as soon as I'm done shooting, I can literally detach this, fold the tripod up, flip it back closed, and I basically have a fully functioning cinema camera with me anywhere I go. Now, if you guys are interested to pick one up for yourself, there will be a link. Actually, it's probably not even in the below box anymore. I think it's more over to the side. So make sure to head to the description where you guys can get a little bit of a discount code. Make sure you guys let me know if you guys have any questions about the Flow in the comments down below. And as always, folks, don't stress, finesse. Peace, y'all.